Nothing better than starting a Sunday fun day with a Betsy Ross. It's not a Bob Ross, Marvin. It's Betsy.
Are we recording?
I think so, yeah. It's a terrible start.
Betsy because of Sprite. No ginger ale.
Yeah, because Sprite is a girly drink and ginger ale is for dudes or something.
Who have stomach aches.
Who have stomach aches and heartburn.
Oh, blow. Jenny's right here, dude. Alright.
What?
It's okay.
I'm agreeing. I had heartburn too. Didn't we all have heartburn after that?
Stop trying to steal the heartburn. That's our thing.
Oh, that's your thing?
That's our over 30 for 30
I think
thing.
Betsy's going to give me heartburn too.
Yeah, I know. We'll see.
You know what? Go into my kind of, sort of, maybe not really a bathroom in there. I got the Tums out. All because of the Bob Ross.
You know, I can tell because you use Tums. Nobody uses Tums. It's all about...
Zantac.
Mm-hmm.
The 150s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you throw a number in front of your Tums?
No. I can throw calcium in front of it. Calci-Tums. Boom! Calcium.
Calci-Tums.
Did you say Calci Tums?
Yes. Welcome to episode 203. Season 2, episode 3.
Yep.
No one asked for it, but we gave it to us.
Well, we earned it.
I wouldn't say we earned it, Jenny, but I appreciate the sentiment. Episode 203, we're talking about some things, stuff, and things. Welcome to the Ramble On, presented by the Rambling Men. So, we got some things to talk about, Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin, we got some things to talk about. I feel like you're going to be quiet and enjoy your Betsy Rossi over there. Got some things to talk about, Jenny, which means, you know what time it is. Start the timer. We got 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And to kick off real quick, I just wanted to throw out there, based off of last week's episode, where we talked about some TV shows and things like that. I watched the first episode of The Ranch on Netflix. And Jenny, I got further than you, and holy God, that show...
It's so great, isn't it?
Sucked. That show was not good at all.
You
And
just
I know
don't like Ashton Kutcher, that's why.
I don't like Ashton Kutcher.
So you walked in there with, like, I hate this guy.
I went in completely blank, my friend.
I know you.
I like Sam Elliott.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like,
Sam
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott outweighs my dislike of Ashton Kutcher. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot because of Sam Elliott. And Sam Elliott looked uncomfortable. The way he was standing, it was just like, God damn it, why am I here? I don't have as deep of a voice as Sam Elliott, so I can't really imitate. I could try, though.
I don't think anybody does.
No, that man has a voice of cigarettes.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's so loud eventually.
You know, he was the Marlboro man, but... Early and Thank You for Smoking. Great movie, by the way.
I was supposed to say.
Yeah. No, that show was not good. I understand it's a...
It just got renewed for season 2. Yes, you do understand.
Did it?
Yep.
It did?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because people watch it, Jenny.
Because idiots like Marvin watch it,
Yeah,
Jenny.
idiots like me, Jenny, watch it. And also The Punisher is getting a series.
Which that makes sense, because
It was so great.
that was the best part of the Daredevil series this
Yeah,
past season.
Kingpin is always that dude kills it every time he comes out.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying that Punisher was the best part of the second series, or
Yeah.
second season.
I just told you, no, Kingpin was.
He shows up in like an episode and a half.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Okay. So, The Ranch gets a nice 2 out of 3. Can't stand it from the Ramble On. So there you go.
2 out of 3, isn't that a good thing?
Can't stand it.
Yeah, that's 67% against.
Yeah, it's not a 2 out of 3.
So
thumbs up.
40% is pretty good. To TV these days.
Do your math. It's 33%. 33% likes it. And I guess 33% makes it a renewal for Netflix. Good job, Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hope in you.
So you're saying Netflix goes off of you and Jenny's opinion?
No. Nobody goes off of our opinion.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh! Anyway.
Well, I was surprised to hear that you got through the first episode. You got bar. I only got to the
You
bar
tell you
scene.
fell asleep halfway.
Yeah, I got to the bar scene and I switched it over.
I wanted to give it its time, Jenny, to see how truly bad it was. And seeing Ashton Kutcher trying to act is hilarious. I did laugh at the "I'm a football player" scene.
Thank you.
It was, oh God, it was so weird. And then hearing a laugh track with them. I mean, it's an adult show and everything, so it's cool. But dropping F-bombs during a laugh track, I was like, that's weird.
Oh yeah, they did drop.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard a couple times. Did Sam Elliott just say "fuck"? What the hell? What
Yeah,
kind of
he
show
did
is
say
this? What kind of show is this?
I liked it. I can watch it.
Anywho, so away from the ranch, we've already spent way too much time talking about that show. 3 minutes in total between 2 episodes is too much time for it. Jenny,
Yeah.
swing it over to you. You saw a movie that none of us saw because, well, nobody saw really. The Huntsman, starring people about things. It's a pre-sequel or a C-prequel, or it's a
It is.
thing.
It's a prequel. Yeah.
Is it a prequel?
Is it a prequel or a sequel?
The trailers make
Or
it seem like it's
prequel.
a C prequel.
Like
I don't know.
Godfather
At
2.
that point, sometimes it runs a little parallel. So
Oh God, that sounds
the
terrible.
timing's a little weird. It spans a few years, so
Oh.
it starts. I don't know. I'm a little confused by.
So it's like it tells a little bit of story, and then the Huntsman happened, and then
Yeah,
Continues on?
it starts when the Huntsmen are children
Mm-hmm.
and they get turned into huntsmen, and then so it's
how do you
it's
turn into a Huntsman?
well
They're like
because
trained or
they get taken away from their families, from their villages by the Ice Queen or whatever the hell her name is.
Elsa?
Yeah, Elsa. Yeah,
So
that's
when-
the one.
So when does Finn show up?
He's trying to steal my joke. You saw that?
Yeah.
So let me have one from
We weren't communicating well. I think these Betsy Rosses got us off our game.
I think so.
That was a Star Wars joke, Jedi.
Yeah.
Sorry. So anyways, huntsmen, they get robbed from their families. They're trained to be huntsmen, which do what? They hunt things.
They basically go and take over all the land that the queen wants and steal more children and train more children over years and years' time. And basically do the bidding of the queen because she lost her child and thinks love is not a real thing and that
Which
she's
is-
saving
she's
these
not
children from heartache and all this kind of crap. And so
That's kind of sweet, though.
it is sweet.
Is it over dramatic?
And that's what I was going to say about it. It is over
It sounds like over dramatic.
It's extremely over dramatic, but I was entertained. Just like on the surface, I liked it because it was just an entertaining movie. I wasn't there to like get an in-depth
What's the actress name?
feel
What's
from
her
a
name?
film or
Oh.
anything like
You
that.
got Emily Blunt. You got
Emily
Jessica
Blunt.
Chastain,
Emily Blunt usually does very good movies.
Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth. Yeah.
Emily Blunt,
Maybe it's because she did Sicario and she's like, you know what? I've done my deep movie for the year.
exactly.
Let's
Actually, that's
do
what
Huntsman.
I was reading that Jessica Chastain. That's what she did. She was like, I need to.
I need to take a
Make a
And,
movie,
and Jessica
yeah.
Chastain was along with Chris Hemsworth's character. They're the top huntsmen for the queen, and so I'm a huge Chastain fan. I think we know this. So watching
you
her
and Omar.
kick
You and
ass,
Omar, yeah. Seriously.
watching her kick ass was the best.
That's
thing
amazing, though. If you think about it, we haven't had a Jessica Chastain mention since episode 4 or 5. Done really well on the Ramble on keeping her off the show. It's not a bad thing, nor is it a good thing.
Is that her last movie she was coming on?
Yeah, I think so. So it makes sense.
Martian, right?
Martian, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, the last thing we need is Omar's quivering voice talking about Jessica Chastain again. Chastain. Oh, Jesus. So, Jenny, okay, so people show up, actors are there, Kristen Stewart is not in it,
Kristen Stewart's not in it at all.
which,
So because it's a prequel, right? Prequel, sequel.
a pre-sequel,
Pre-sequel.
continuation.
So let me guess. Something
Yeah.
happens to her, and then fast forward.
They kind of tell her story on the side. They're like, meanwhile, Cinderella,
Meanwhile.
blah, 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 in the kingdom, and then they have to find. So it comes back around to the mirror, and the huntsmen have to find the mirror, and then it kind of takes. It has like a powerful hold over everybody, that kind of a thing. But I mean, it's a typical fairy tale story.
It's a fantasy movie, Jenny.
So why would you
Yeah.
think it? Why didn't it make so much money? Why didn't people want to watch it? You think?
I don't know. I don't know why people didn't want to.
I don't
watch
think
it. I think
people-
it's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm saying, 'cause you said-
it's a fairy tale. You
Yeah.
know it's over dramatic.
I think, honestly, I think it's because people didn't really care about the first one.
that's possible, and I think Kristen Stewart has something to do about that.
Well, that one, yeah, but it's almost like the stench of Kristen just lingered on this
Right.
one or something. Even though you got 3 of the best actresses in the world working in that movie, honestly, I think it was more of a, I feel like it comes off more of as a, whatever,
I think so too.
It's,
Or is it because they didn't know what this movie was going to be about? Because if
That
you
could be
see the trailer, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it's a
that was
sequel,
my
but
thing
what's-
too. It's a sequel, but it's a prequel, but it's both. I think
Yeah.
the marketing of it was very confusing, I think. And I think that kind of factored into them. I think they said they're going to lose upwards of $70 million on this movie.
Wow.
So, yep.
It's decent for entertainment value.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you don't mind spending money on it?
I didn't mind spending money.
So
on it.
Jenny's thumb of approval.
Would you stamp it?
I would stamp it if you're not looking for a deep, meaningful film.
What's out there right now?
Oh, Jungle Book. I really want to see Jungle
Jungle Book's out there. Zootopia's still out there.
Jungle Book. Zootopia is really good.
I really want to see Zootopia.
Zootopia is really good.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. I cried.
What
I
else
laughed.
is out there?
I laughed and cried.
The Civil War, Who Gives a Shit, comes out next week. Speaking of going down south, Jenny, we saw a movie. Look at that transition. That was tops, man. Watch the trailer. That was top.
I got freaked out right there.
Speaking of going down south, Jenny, we watched you and I at least watched the movie on Netflix. Apparently Marvin did not watch it because
I don't
he
have
didn't
time. I have a project I'm
quote
working on.
unquote time. Hell and Back,
Hell and Back.
the animated adult comedy from guys who worked on Robot Chicken. And I'm just going to say right now, they should stick to short 10-minute episodes of Robot Chicken, because this movie was
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I was like, what movie is that? It has like the devil.
Yep. Let me just say, the cast on this movie is what made it even more depressing, that it sucked and was so unfunny. You know, Bob Odenkirk plays the devil, Susan Sarandon plays an angel, TJ Miller pops up as
He
the
pops
lead.
up in everything.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
As the guy's fat friend.
Same role too.
Mila Kunis shows up. Who cares?
Oh, dude, right there! You should have known.
I know. Danny McBride pops up.
Mhm.
Danny McBride's always fun. But the kicker, and the reason that I should have not ventured down this terrible, fiery path to hell, was Nick Swartzen plays the lead. And Nick Swartzen is easily the most unfunny, quote-unquote, comedic actor working today. I think that guy is awful, Jenny. And this was 85 minutes of movie that I didn't laugh once. Jenny, did you laugh once?
I did, and I'm going to tell you why.
God damn it, Jenny.
Because this movie, I had no idea, and I like watching movies and TV shows where I know
Have
no
no
context.
context, yeah.
Mostly here.
Nothing.
Okay.
And so watching this movie, I saw that it was, animated, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Give
I
it a
don't
shot.
know. I thought it was a typical animated. No. Like, the second they go into their jokes and the dialogue, I was like, holy shit, this isn't like a... Part of it caught me, it's because I was caught off guard.
Okay.
That I thought some of the liners were a little funny, because I really wasn't expecting it.
At the beginning, the first couple minutes, there was one or two lines that TJ Miller said that caught me off, kind of caught me off guard too. So I all right, I did laugh. I chuckled once at TJ Miller, but after that,
We're not going to judge you if you laugh, Kevin.
I'm going to judge
We're
myself.
going to get your card revoked if you laugh.
For this movie, yes, maybe. But I did laugh one or two times in the beginning because of TJ Miller, because he's the sad sack fat kid or whatever, playing the TJ Miller part. He had a couple funny lines at the beginning with Nick Swartzen, which is Adam Sandler's punching boy nowadays in his movies. So I guess he was like, finally I can punch on somebody else, So he started ripping into TJ Miller a little bit. I'm like, God damn it, dude, you suck. Shut up. Some of the one-liners that TJ Miller, that Nick Swartzen gets are just so unnecessarily over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember. It was like when they went and saw Mila Kunis' mom trying to find Orpheus or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nick Swartzen has some lines about, sucking a dick or something like that. I don't remember. Just like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
You're the worst. You're literally the worst. The one positive I'll give it is the animation is awesome.
It is awesome.
The animation's great in the movie. Everything else around it sucks.
I kind of, I didn't take it as they were really trying to give out funny jokes. They were just being so stupid. And so, you know what I mean? They kind of just really making it obvious. And
Rob Riggle's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of the parts I liked about it was when they're down and, they're in hell or whatever, and they're torturing souls, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they're in line, and there's a Taco Bell Pizza Hut counter, and he's like,
we don't have pizza.
yeah, I want a pizza. He's like, wow, we don't have pizza. Welcome to hell. Order another pizza. It was like that kind of just overt and like really stupid kind of. I could appreciate some of that.
I understood the comedy there.
Yeah.
So, we've kind of been talking for a few minutes and we haven't given a breakdown. So,
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know. Let me revert back. We're doing it all over. Hell and Back is a animated comedy about these three friends that work at a failing Coney Island kind of place. Probably something on the beaches of New Jersey because everyone knows New Jersey's a shithole anyway. Anyway, ooh, burning Jersey. So there's a fortune teller on the dock or whatever, and she starts talking to a couple of the friends. It's three friends that all have been wanting to work there and they've been working there for years. And Nick Swartzen's character, he's one of those guys that doesn't want to grow up, he doesn't want to change, he just wants to work there forever. Rob Riggle and TJ Miller, their characters are like, I think I'm gonna let this place fail and kind of do my own thing. Anyways, they make a blood oath over a mint. Jenny, a mint leads to a blood oath over a satanic Bible that Rob Riggle's character doesn't keep his blood oath, so that leads them to hell. And so it becomes a rescue story to try and save Rob Riggle's character, and they run into Danny McBride and Bob Odenkirk as the devil and Mila Kunis and stuff. Hijinks ensue. They're not funny hijinks, but they're hijinks nonetheless.
They are hijinks.
So yeah, I added this to my list only because I was like, oh, Bob Odenkirk's in it. I like that guy. I like Danny McBride. Susan Sarandon's in it. That's cool, I guess. A lot of the people that show up on like Comedy Bang Bang and stuff like that, a lot of Scott Aukerman's work show up in it. So of course, I'm all about Scott. I love Comedy Bang Bang. I think it's hilarious, and Scott Aukerman's a funny dude. It's like, oh, Paul F. Tompkins. I'm down for those guys, and I don't know. It just didn't click at all.
Yeah, the opening credits kind of got me. I was like, oh, this might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought, was not what I was expecting.
No.
In the end.
I was about to say, at the end, did you like it? Don't look at Kevin.
Well, lesson learned is you just had to eat the mint. Right, Kevin?
You just had to eat the mint, Jenny.
I think it's a super inappropriate script as a whole. But
yeah. Yeah, it's it's on Netflix. It's easily accessible.
Yeah, you don't have to spend your money on it.
No, I wouldn't recommend watching it at all. I don't know. Jenny, would you recommend it?
No, I wouldn't have watched it otherwise, to be quite honest.
Well, you didn't even know about it, right?
I didn't even know about it, no.
So
I saw the trailer a long time ago. That's why right now when you said, I was like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because I saw the trailer and I was intrigued by it. I'm like, oh, cool. An adult animated movie, which they're doing the same thing. What's the one with the hot dogs or whatever?
Yeah.
The Sausage Fest or something with Seth Rogen or whatever?
I heard about that.
Did you hear about the hot dog buns? The lid to the hot dog buns?
Yeah.
Big old scandal.
Yeah. Big old scandal. Gotta keep them buns away, man. Gotta keep them buns away. But I don't know, considering that in the same year in 2015 you get this and you get Anomalisa, which is a completely different movie. You can't compare those kind of movies, I know, but it's like they're both adult themed animated films. But
what are you doing?
I don't know what
you
I'm
can't
doing.
compare those two movies.
That's what I'm saying. I can't.
So you're.
But I'm going to. It's like comparing.
Remember the one he was all obsessed? I couldn't watch it.
Chicken salad to chicken shit. You couldn't watch it?
No.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. I love that movie.
I know you love that movie.
Anyways.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, Kevin would love this movie. He'd probably do it in his other podcast.
This will be discussed on the pseudo hips. What you smell
Jenny,
there,
you should
Bob?
watch.
Just sniffing you out, Jenny.
Animated films are not really my.
Well, this is more of a
preferred-
claymation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
I'm
of.
not into that kind of a.
Which I appreciate that you actually took the time to watch it, since it's not your kind of genre or
Right.
not your kind of style.
Yeah.
It's overall, I don't think it's very funny. The only thing that kept me intrigued was the animation. I thought the animation was really cool. The jokes were stupid, and I just feel bad for the people that were working on it. It's just like they're just like, whatever, let's just have some fun. Bob Odenkirk is killing it with Breaking Bad to Better Call Saul, and then he was on Fargo's first season. The guy's knocking it out of the park with a lot of stuff that he's doing, and then he does this, and I'm like, honestly, he probably just needed something stupid to do. Kind of like what you were talking about with Jessica Chastain, needed something less serious, so he took this. So it's just kind of the kicker of that. But so I will not recommend Held and Back. In fact, I would send it to hell and hope that it never came back. Bad joke. Jenny, would you recommend Hell and Back?
I only semi-recommend it if you're cleaning the house and need something going on in the background that may entertain you every now and then.
Something you don't have to keep.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it. I'm just saying. I don't know why. I liked it. Style was great. Those actors, the punchlines. 2 out of 2. You can only get 1 or 2, so 2 out of 2.
Okay, Marvin, thank you. The next movie, kind of keeping it in the satanic, I guess, in a weird way. A movie that popped up. It came out last year as well. Popped up on Amazon Prime and Hulu not too long ago, and stars Marvin's fave, Mr. Arnie Schwarzenegger.
I do. I love this film. Right? This is the one where they're in the jungle and they're hunting the alien, right?
Yep, that's exactly it. So why don't you give a breakdown, Marvin, of
Well,
Maggie?
Arnold Schwartzy, that's what I call him. He's special.
On a
forces.
personal level, Schwartzy.
No, he doesn't have a comment.
Oh.
But I'm behind his back, I do.
Oh, okay. That's how you have his number in your phone.
Swartzy.
No, he hasn't given me his number yet.
Arnie Swartzy. Oh, we're gonna have to make an Arnie Swartzy drink.
We will.
So anyways, Marvin.
Super strong.
Like honestly, this much alcohol, 3/4 alcohol, and
we only take shots. Those are shots.
yeah, those are shots. So Marvin, again, give us a breakdown of Maggie.
Maggie came out 2015, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger. His daughter has become a zombie. And that's all I saw in the trailer.
Honestly, Marvin, that's right on point.
I know.
Start of it, yeah.
That's,
And actually,
that's
I read
something.
the spoiler a long time ago about it.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, it's following Abigail Breslin, who stars as Arnie's daughter, which is always hilarious because you would think that this guy would have an American accent for as long as he's been here, but I appreciate that nobody cares that he has an Austrian accent.
We don't have Austrian people here in America.
Very few of them.
I know.
Outside of Christoph Waltz and Arnie Schwarzenegger, there's no Austrians here in America. None, Jen. None. Zero.
According to census.
According to census, we only have 2, and they're Hollywood's biggest stars right now. Yeah, so Arnie's out on the road looking for Abigail Breslin at the start of this movie, Marvin. And Abigail's found Maggie, as obviously her name is found in a hospital. She had a little accident, a little run-in with these infected people. So
Do they call them zombies?
They don't call them zombies, no, because it's not really a zombie movie, to be honest with you.
That's what I read on the. They were like, it's not a real zombie.
It's not a real zombie movie, and I think it's the coolest thing and the one positive I find in this movie compared to a lot of other zombie lore stories or whatever is that it shows you the complete breakdown of someone into being infected or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The stages.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas all these other movies, Dawn of the Dead and Walking Dead and all that, all of George Romero's movies, it's just like that's what they are. There's no build to it. So it's kind of interesting to watch Abigail Breslin go through the stages of becoming undead, basically. So for that, I thought it was really cool. It was a lot more of.
But are they zombies or something else?
Well, I mean, in every zombie movie, 28 Days Later, they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't zombies. They were the rage virus.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like that, and they actually there's a specific illness that they all get, like this certain infection that they all get, and that kind of leads them to being.
But like you can only kill them by shooting them in the head, or they're super fast and.
No, they're not super fast.
They
kind of stumble along a lot like The Walking Dead does.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like their passion is I have to eat your brains. Yeah, exactly. That's not their motivation. It's just kind of they just start to lose it, and then the next thing you know, they just start attacking people and biting people. So.
Stoneman style.
Exactly.
Game of Thrones.
That's right.
I just saw that episode.
Yeah, he knows. He's on his GOT game. So, Jenny, you are, and the reason that I picked this movie is because I know that you're into the zombie lore, if you will. So I really wanted you to watch this to get your ideas of what you thought of Maggie.
I really love the movie. I like zombie, anything post-apocalyptic. I love it. Although this wasn't really post-apocalyptic.
It wasn't post-apocalyptic.
Because when the movie starts, the rate of infection is already gone down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the world is falling to pieces. You know, there's still a government. People are still working. School is still happening. That kind of a thing.
Are they just killing off all the?
They're
taking out the infected as they get worse. You know, if it gets worse and they need to stop them, they do.
Yeah.
I think it was very reminiscent of the book World War Z. I won't say the movie because the movie's another whatever. But the book World War Z was obviously after the fact and kind of tracking everybody and be like, hey, what happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your story. That's kind of what this is, but it's kind of near the tail end. Like, if you want to compare it to World War Z, it's kind of at the tail end of World War Z before Brad Pitt's character goes out and starts interviewing people. So they're starting to kind of clear out. The infected doesn't happen quickly. It kind of takes its time.
Mm-hmm.
So
can they tell right away? Like
yeah. They find the bite and everything. They're like, okay, just kind of take her home. Just keep her relaxed. You know, just kind of keep her eating. If you start noticing these changes, bring her back so that we can do some more tests.
Does that mean you're just gonna kill her if you bring her back?
No, they don't.
Well, they don't, but essentially once you end up in quarantine, which is when you kind of reach that stage of no turning back, you're not really your functioning self anymore, kind of a thing. They take you to quarantine, which eventually leads you to their, what they call like this medicinal cocktail that kills you, but very slowly and painfully kills you.
Yeah.
Why?
In quarantine, because that's just how
That's
they
how
give
they
you like
want
an
it to.
injection.
Yeah, they give you an injection.
And how they kill
it's basically
essentially.
yeah, exactly. It's basically their way of
No quick death.
snuffing out the issue. But the doctor, who's a friend of Arnie in the movie, even says, he's like, I think at one point they meet up and he's got a shotgun and he's just like, you got three options, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The first option is the cocktail that Jenny's talking about that'll take forever. The second option is, you know, leaving her in quarantine, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, what's the third option? And he's like, well, what you got in your hand? He's like, that's the quickest option. Just make it quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Does it show how she got infected? Like she was at a party or something?
They did, yeah. It was a real quick. Did they?
It was a bit of flashback.
Yeah.
It's kind of it wasn't really specific. It's just kind of she's having these flashbacks.
Yeah.
She was with a group of people and that they were kind of fighting off this group that was trying to bite them, and she ended up getting bit on her arm.
Yeah. So she just said, and it was just, you know, just this little black spot that just spreads bigger and bigger and bigger, and little things happen to her throughout the movie. Yeah, no, I really dug it.
I thought it was great. I liked it. Yeah. They did it a little differently than your normal zombie movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't you have to shoot him in the head kind of a situation. It wasn't a supernatural kind of a situation necessarily. No. It was they were truly infected with a disease.
It's very similar in kind of the tone of Contagion, the Steven Soderbergh movie from a few years ago. They kind of show how these things kind of, you know, this infection or this disease kind of takes over. So I thought that was really cool. Arnold Schwarzenegger was outstanding.
Of course.
Like,
really
that's the thing. You know, you see an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and you see a Schwartzy movie, and your whole thing is just, man, I know what I'm getting out of Schwartzy. You know, he's gonna be the big action dude. You know, he's never gonna run. He's gonna have infinite ammo, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of one of those surprise performances, a lot like Sly Stallone, excuse me, in Creed. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it doesn't get as much play, but he was fantastic. Like he acted, which was weird because you're not used to seeing him actually act in a movie. You're just like, he's going to read his corny lines, he's going to have some good one-liners, then he's going to blow your head off. Mm-hmm. But him and Abigail Breslin had great chemistry in the movie, so. Yeah, I think he's the surprise. He's a surprise, honestly. I was not expecting him to give such a strong performance.
I agree. I was watching the movie and I'm like, man, I'm not a huge fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm just not. I mean, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He, like Kevin said, he plays a typical kind of shoot 'em up, I'm gonna break your neck kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't like that. He was just, this is my daughter. I'm gonna protect her for as long as I can. He's a do right by everybody kind of guy, right?
Yep. That's exactly it. He was a struggling dad trying to deal with a lot more than just, he's trying to take care of his other 2 kids. He's got 3 kids, including Abigail Breslin. Trying to take care of his 2 younger kids and get, and maintain a farm that's failing and stuff like. He's got so much on his plate right now, on top of the fact that his daughter's turning into an undead.
Is there a cure for it, or they just don't? The only cure is death.
They, for the most part, yeah, they don't really relay that there's any real cure to it. It's just kind of like, oh, this is the shitty situation that they're in. Yeah. All we can do is kind of suppress it and keep it down as long as possible. Yeah. So, Abigail Breslin I thought was really good too. Jolie Richardson, who's popped up in, I think that's her name. She's popped up in things like The Patriot, and she's been around. You'd recognize her if you saw her. Mm-hmm. She was she was good in it. She played their aunt who was trying to help them deal with all this stuff because their mother died, I think. Mm-hmm. And so she was kind of filling in that as that matriarchal character.
Did she die of the virus too?
No, it's it's a very singular story. Oh, okay. It very much focuses on Abigail Breslin's struggles and everything, and Arnie trying to help her out with that.
So is it mostly her movie or Arnie's movie?
It's mostly
like the dad or mostly the daughter going through the different phases.
It becomes Abigail Breslin's movie throughout the movie. It starts off, and that's why we're praising Arnold Schwarzenegger, because at the beginning it was very much him kind of dealing with it all. Mm-hmm. So it was fun. It was not fun, but it was great to kind of see him dealing with it, kind of following that along. Yeah. And then about halfway through, it's almost like they subtly kind of shift focus over to her as she starts dealing with it getting worse. And then he pops up. That's the one kicker of it, though. The one downside I'll give it is that, not an hour in, but about 45 minutes in, when it does shift to Abigail Breslin, Arnold Schwarzenegger just doesn't appear for a long time. Huh. He just kind of disappears for a while. And that was kind of a bummer, because it's like, man, he was that good, you just want more of him. Yeah. It's like Stallone and Creed. He's that good, you just want as much of him as possible. So it was kind of like that with Maggie, where when Schwarzenegger, I noticed it after about 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool, I get, she's dealing with her shit, but when does Arnold Schwarzenegger come back? So it's, and I don't think I've ever had that reaction to an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Well, I was like, all right, cool.
At the very end, does it
I think it ends
close everything up, or is it like...
It ends itself very well.
Okay.
It ends itself very well to the story that they were telling, to the...
he kills himself, right? And
to the descent into unfortunate... It left it kind of open-ended, but not open-ended.
There was closure.
Was there closure?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There was closure for the viewer regarding one character, but not the other, and that's why I say it was left kind of open-ended, because you know what I'm saying? Like the reaction of one, it just kind of cuts to credits, and you're like, oh man, I wonder how such and such felt after this. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Some movies that I've seen they try that open-ended kind of ending. It makes me angry sometimes. Mm-hmm. This movie didn't make me angry. Yeah, I felt like, oh man, I wonder what happened. But I appreciated the way that they did it. Mm-hmm. And even when the movie started, I appreciated that there wasn't a whole hell of a lot of backstory. No. It was just really focused on this family. It wasn't like, we're talking like Walking Dead, where it's like the world has gone to shit.
Yeah, you want to know why.
There's a bunch of different surviving people, and there's a lot of unanswered questions. Right. For this movie, I didn't care. I cared about the family. I cared about.
It's Maggie. Very similar to Hush that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's why I appreciate that movie too.
It's one of those deconstructive horror movies, very similar to like we were talking about Hush. It follows, a lot of these horror movies that we've talked about on previous episodes. Kind of fits into that group of horror movies that tell a simple story. They tell a simple story, but they tell it so effectively that they don't try and pull you in all sorts of different directions to try and, make you think you're getting something more than what you're getting, It's not a Blumhouse production, but those kind of movies that Blumhouse makes that are trying to do so much more than they need to, this did not do that. It kept it very focused. It kept it very, concise. And, I think will give people what they're looking for, at least in this kind of movie, in this kind of genre. So
it's not a zombie genre, right?
it's I'd put it more in the, not necessarily the horror, but they're gonna put it there anyway. They're gonna try and call it a zombie movie, but I don't call it a zombie movie.
Of course, yeah.
I think it's more of a drama thriller
I agree.
kind of feel to it. So, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I recommend it.
After you were like, whoa, like you were expecting that movie, or
After what?
you watched it, you thought it was gonna be something completely different?
No, well, a little bit, yeah. I didn't know what I was fully expecting out of it. I knew that they were going to try. I knew that they were trying to tell a zombie style story, but it didn't fall down those stereotypical tropes of other zombie things. So I think that's what made such a huge difference, is that it didn't follow the tropishness of a lot of other zombie films. So, like I said,
you've seen one movie, you've seen them all.
Exactly.
This one's like, something fresh.
It's something fresh. It's something different, which I think is really cool. Especially like we were talking about, a lot of these zombie movies that they're so focused on, we need to
gore it up,
survive. Yeah, exactly. We need to gore it up. The only focus is survival. This was like, all right, we're focusing on survival, but we're also focusing on what's going on with the family that's involved with it. He's trying to handle the survival and everything. So, Jenny, it sounds like you're giving it the old Jenny stamp of approval.
Definitely stamp of approval.
We're stamping it once.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a stamp too.
All right,
I think it's worth checking out. So recommendations for Maggie. Yeah, I dug it. Mm-hmm. So Hulu Plus or Amazon Prime, they are available there. If you really want to torture yourself with a shitty movie, go to Netflix and watch Hell and Back. If you want to try and skirt the $70 million loss that they're going to lose for the Hunstman, go see it in theaters. Help.
Don't expect a third part.
No. $8 is not going to make that big of a difference.
No.
69,999,992 is still a lot of money to lose. So, sorry, Universal Studios or Comcast or who gives a shit, whatever. So, but hey guys, that's the episode.
Wow.
Real quick.
So fast.
It flies by when you're drinking Betsy Rossi's. So, anything that you want to, Marv, anything you want to recommend otherwise?
No.
No? Okay, that was easy.
Well, just that next week is going to be a Civil War podcast.
Next week we'll review Civil War. So that's something to look forward to.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Spider-Man.
I don't like to judge a book by its cover, except when I do for animated films.
Yeah, you pretty much did.
Yeah, you pretty much did.
Civil War, I'll watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch every superhero movie that comes out.
Same here.
Also, I've been watching Vinyl on HBO.
How is that?
It's fantastic.
I want to watch it.
Time to check up on Vinyl.
So,
what's her name? She pops up in everything. I'm kind of sick and tired of her.
Olivia Wilde?
No. The other one. The one who came out as Batman Rises. She's the one who stole the watch.
Oh, Juno Temple.
Yeah. And I'm like, she just gets naked and everything. It's no substance.
Yes.
70s.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's the 70s.
No, but it's about a guy with a rock band label, right?
He's a record man, is what they call themselves. Yeah.
Record Man.
So just recommend watch?
Bobby
I recommend
Cannavale.
watching, yeah.
Right, because the next...
You can't go wrong with Bobby Cannavale.
He plays a label lead. It's fantastic.
I'm gonna stick on the HBO train there, Jen. And
HBO.
no, I was gonna say Silicon Valley
I've been recommending that to everybody since like 3 years.
and Veep. Yeah.
Veep is back.
Those shows are awesome, and they're on HBO. You should check them out because they're awesome, and they're awesome. So keep it on the HBO train. I'm gonna say HBO, like Universal, struggling. Everybody, they need our help. How else do you think Game of Thrones is gonna make those dragons?
I'm almost caught up.
We need to make the dragoons.
I need like 4 more episodes on season 5.
Oh, good job, buddy.
And I'm there, guys.
Sweet. Then we'll all
Slam
be
daddy
caught up.
sleep for 2 weeks because I've been watching nonstop. But
We'll be able to talk more about GOT when you catch up.
got
with Game of Thrones. That was the worst way to end the show.
That was the worst way.
To my co-hosts, Marvin, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Jenny,
last episode, guys. It was a great honor. I'm having.
Shut up. Jenny, Frowns, thank you for being on the show with us. I am your host of the Ramble On. My name is Kevin.
Wait, you gotta promote the new series.
I'll do that later. When it's available. When it's time to do it, I'll do it. So, thank you all for listening. We will see you next week when we talk about a superhero guy who does superhero things. Have a good week, and we will see you next time.
Adios.